Rue, could you share with us your favorite childhood memory?
I have a memory with my dad and I before he passed.
And what did you die of?
Cancer.
And how old were you when you passed away?
I was 13, and we were just hanging out in his room. We were watching TV. I just miss being around him.
Bobby, your favorite childhood memory?
My favorite childhood memory would probably have to be writing novels, stories about action and adventure and about love, just stories that have a lot of impact on people, stories that like can encourage people to do more with their lives, you know, and I take a lot of pride in writing these stories. You know, it's my favorite hobby, so definitely doing that as a kid.
How young were you when you started to write stories?
About 5 years old. As soon as I learned how to start writing words in about second grade, I learned just how to, you know, put all these ideas together. Even if the grammar wasn't perfect, even if the spelling wasn't perfect, I just started making stories so that people can enjoy them. And they mean a lot to me.
And have they had any impact? Have your stories
Yes.
changed perceptions or people's lives?
Yes, they have. Absolutely.
In what way?
It made them realize, you know, to love people around them, to learn how to help people around them, and to help build each other up, help motivate each other, because it's a tough world out there, you know.
Indeed.
Very, very hard. So we always got to give it our best each and every single day.
I agree. Mike, how about you? Favorite childhood memory?
Playing outside in our backyard with my family. We used to play baseball and kickball.
What was your position in baseball?
I was always catcher.
And was that just a family ritual? You always did that?
Whenever our dad came home, he would always want to go play because he's a pilot. He's always sitting down. So he would get his exercise with us.
And why was he away? As a pilot, you
As a
said.
pilot,
Was he
yeah.
a pilot in the Navy or
No, he just...
Oh, just regular airlines?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you miss him when because sometimes pilots have
Yeah.
quite the hectic schedule.
Yeah, he's usually only home for 3 or 4 days, and then he leaves again for maybe a week.
Okay. Joy, what about you? Favorite childhood memory?
Probably creating things. I love.
Like what?
I made a village once out of paper, and it was a big village, and there are a lot of people, and they're all very happy.
So did you cut out the paper to make the buildings and the figures of the people?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you said they were happy there?
Yeah,
Yeah?
it was a good village.
Okay. And, okay. What's the worst thing that's ever happened to you?
I don't like talking about it.
Was it when your sister found you when you'd OD'd?
Yeah. It was horrible.
And how do you feel about that now?
I feel bad that I did that to her. She had to find me like that.
What did you learn in rehab?
I learned to be sober, but stuff happens.
Mm-hmm.
I had to overcome that
You go to meetings?
occasionally. I stopped for a while, but I'm starting again.
And Bobby, what's the worst thing that's ever happened to you?
Just getting rejected. All of my stories, just all the work that I put into them. When people don't like them, it just really, really bothers me. That's probably, there was a story that I wrote that, a love story that I wrote, and it got horrible reviews, and that really destroyed me.
And what was the center of that love story? What was the...
The center of that love story was to come back and to show that you still care, regardless of what's happened, regardless of issues or whatever. You know, that it's good to still show that you care. And the fact that, you know, I built a whole story around that principle, and the fact that it was so badly reviewed just really hurt me, really did. You know, and that's probably my worst memory out of all the work that I've done.
It was the bad reviews for that one story?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. How about for you? Worst
My
memory?
long-term girlfriend breaking up with me out of the blue.
And how did that happen exactly?
She called me to come over one day, and she broke up with me on her porch.
And did she say why?
No, she turned and ran inside.
And what did you do?
I was stunned. I didn't really know what to do, so I just sat in my car on the street for a while, and then I went home.
And when did you run into her the next time? I mean, was it the following day? Was it at school or work or?
I see her around school. You know, her friends shield her because they know everything. I don't know what I did. Maybe she just lost interest.
And how does that make you feel?
It broke me. It's going to take a while for me to become healed again.
And what's the process of healing for you? What do you do?
Being around the people that I know love me, as opposed to those who don't anymore.
And Joy, what's the worst thing that's ever happened to you?
I lost my grandmother. She,
So I take it you were very close.
yeah, she was a really big part of my life, and she pushed me to do things that other people didn't believe I could do.
Like,
And
can you give us an example?
I went through a rut where I wasn't really there. I was kind of just a shell of myself. But she pushed me to become who I am today. And she taught me that even when nobody believes in you, as long as you believe in you, you can do what you need to do. Become who you were truly meant to be.
Would she be proud of you now?
I'd like to think so, yeah.
Rue, what's your greatest fear?
Losing the ones I love.
Do you feel that your actions could contribute to that?
Yeah.
And Bobby, what's your greatest fear?
My greatest fear is that not being able to see the satisfaction among much people of my work. You know, not being able to just see the joy and the lessons that people can learn from it. You know, probably all my work going away. If my work were to all go away, that would just be horrible, because that's my life. That's what I've dedicated myself to, and it means a lot to me. And just for all of it to just go away, or for all of it to be rejected, is just very heartbreaking.
How about for you? Greatest fear?
That I'll never find who I'm truly supposed to be with. Like, I'm never gonna get married or have kids. I'm just gonna be a workaholic who goes home drunk every night.
So your greatest fear is being alone?
Yeah.
And what about for you, Joy?
Losing myself again.
In what way?
Becoming that shell and dying.
Is that shell when you do what you think people expect you to do?
It's when I don't do what I know I can do. It's when I do things to support my family, when there are other things I could be doing that could benefit my family and me at the same time.
Have you ever been in love, Rue?
Yeah.
And who was it?
My best friend Jules.
And how does that love feel?
Amazing.
Does she complete you?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Bobby, have you ever been in love?
Close. Almost. There was this woman named Sylvia that I met, and we had a lot of good times together. But unfortunately, I got really upset due to a lot of my work being rejected. I pushed her aside for so long because I tried to fix all of my mistakes that I did with my work. And the fact that my work wasn't able to fully be fixed, I just lost myself, and I just pushed her away completely. I even got mad at her, and then she left me, and it was really sad.
And there
Still
was
hurts
no
me.
hope for reconciliation?
No.
No?
There could have been, maybe if I tried harder, but at that time I was just so broken, so upset, so prideful. It was hard, almost impossible to just kind of allow myself to talk to her again.
Mike, how about you?
What was the question again?
Have you ever been in love?
I thought I was, but I guess not anymore.
What made you think you were in love?
She would tell me that she loved me, and I thought she was the one.
Do you think you could open your heart up to someone else? Or do you feel too broken?
With time, I hope that I can. I'm hopeful.
How about you, Joy?
Yeah, I was in love. We ended up having 2 kids. But in
But you've
the
sort
end,
of fallen out of love with your husband, haven't you?
yeah.
Yeah.
I still love him, but we aren't made for each other anymore.
Why is that?
He when I expected having a family, he didn't really live up to those expectations, and he was more focused on being him than being a member of the family.
And he didn't have a steady job, did he?
No.
Yeah, but that contributed to a lot of stress, I'm sure.
Yeah, I was providing, and it just got to a point I couldn't do it anymore. It was hard with all these different moving parts in our family, and at that point I just had to stop.
Understandable. Rue, how do you want to be remembered?
I'm not sure. I think I have to figure that out.
Well, what would they put on your tombstone right now?
Best friend, daughter, mother, not mother, sister. That's what I mean. I have a few friends, I guess. A good friend.
Bobby, how about you?
I would want to be remembered as one of the greatest authors of all time, one of the greatest writers, because my work means everything to me.
Mike?
I want to be buried next to my wife.
Your estranged wife?
Yes.
Okay. And what would they put on your tombstone? Here lies Mike. He was a
son, a father, a grandson, husband, and brother.
Joy, how about you?
I think one of my greatest achievements is still and will always be being a mother to my children, and my ideas, and I think that's all I would ever want.
Thank you very much.